Hey everyone, this is Nikhil when out of frame. So before I quit my job, I just didn't wake up one day and take that leap of faith. Here are the top 5 questions I asked myself before taking the plunge. Question 1. Are you certain that your passion truly has a market? Not just interest, the demand. At the time I began, many people in video production weren't really enforcing storytelling. When we came in, we weren't just shooting visuals, we were reshaping the narratives. I began with the philosophy of you narrate, we create. The writing's on the wall. So this essentially means that there is a story everywhere. And we are here to tell your story in the most creative way. See, that was a good sales pitch. And I knew if this was done right, be it a wedding film, a corporate film, or even an NGO film, this was not just about fulfilling my creativity. This was about adding value to these businesses. Question 2. What does entrepreneurship mean to you? I didn't know business at all. So I made a point to meet one self-made entrepreneur every day at least, either at coffee shops, at networking events, even in their homes. And every conversation taught me something so new about risk, patience, and how messy the outside world really can be and how your decisions can impact everything going forward. I even watched a lot of Shark Tank episodes, not just for entertainment value, but for even understanding how businesses really think. What makes a company truly investable? How do you build something that people actually want, more than what you're excited about? Question 3. How do you feel about bringing in a business partner? Entrepreneurship can get really lonely, very quickly. One thing that helped me massively was to bring in a business partner. You need someone from morning to night to be able to bounce off ideas from. Someone who believes in your vision, but also brings something unique to the table. My partner brought in his finance knowledge, his processes, and he even gave a structure to that chaos that we had at work. While I was out there thinking about how to make the video in the most creative way, he was drafting contracts for the clients. Bringing in a partner can help you enhance your horizon. Question 4. Can you sell me this pen? So being an entrepreneur, you can get lost in your passion. That's absolutely fine. However, to the outside world, you can act like an entrepreneur, but think like a salesman. Sales is everything. That's why sales teams exist in companies. They are the ones who are responsible to make sure that the product is pushed to market. But before you sell, clean up the vagueness around the creativity. Let me explain. Creativity can be very subjective, but the moment you decide to monetize it, you need to have structure. I had to break down my work into various services, such as from ideating, scripting, storyboarding, all the way to editing. All of that had to be quantifiable, and you have to be able to put a price to each of those services. So I didn't do this just for the clients. I did this also for myself, for my confidence, so pricing doesn't seem awkward. So creativity stopped being abstract and became more understandable. Final question. How far are you willing to go? Let me tell you this. While I was working in my 9-to-5 job, I still made it to these communities and workshops, especially an 8-week-long filmmaking workshop, which gave me so many insights about how the industry really is out there. And the best part is, it didn't stress me out. I was looking forward to it. So many conversations with people in the industry gave me a good idea of the landscape outside. It pushed me out of my comfort zone. It honestly made me excited to see what's out there. And this is my one bonus tip, and you're not going to like it. The most cliche thing I'm going to say is, you need savings. Passion alone cannot pay your rent. I needed the cash to buy my first camera, my lens kit, a light reflector, an audio recorder. All of that I wanted to add value to what I was doing for my clients. That financial cushion will give you the freedom to keep going, to try, learn, fail, and adapt. If you can answer these 5 questions clearly to yourself, I think you're on the right path. I'm not saying this guarantees success, nothing does. But this will give you a framework of giving you intent more than just hopes. This, for me, was my framework, and it made all the difference. This is Nikhil when out of frame.